Okay, hello, everyone. This is your girl Shanidra with Beyond the Cover, helping you discover these awesome entrepreneurs. And today we have an exclusive interview with Miss Iris Pendleton. I am going to allow her to introduce herself and tell you what she's all about.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to first of all thank Ms. Shanidra Matthews for allowing me to be on the show to share tonight. Um, when I describe myself, I first begin by saying I'm a mother. I have two boys who I absolutely love. I'm also a college professor. I enjoy writing poetry, singing, dancing. And then on the other side of my life, I'm also a domestic violence advocate. And I will be sharing more with you tonight about the domestic violence advocacy work I do each day.
That is so amazing. So, you said that you do domestic advocacy. Could you go in depth about that and tell them what that is about and how it got started?
So it has a lot of different parts. And I think I'll start with the beginning. So I am a domestic violence survivor. And about a year before I got ready to leave the abusive relationship, I started journaling and writing about my experience. And at the time, I didn't know if I'd ever get to share what I was writing with anyone else. I was doing it more for my healing and planning process. And fast forward to last year, around this time of the year, I was praying and reflecting, and it was almost like I felt God saying, "It's time to share your story." And so the way that I chose to share my story was by beginning to publish some of those journal entries on a blog, which I call Now I Can Wear Pink. And over the last year, I found myself sharing my story publicly with people in a variety of different places, and also working one on one with survivors, providing coaching and just a listening ear for some of them. So that gives you a bit of the genesis of Now I Can Wear Pink, but it also tells you some of the advocacy work I've been involved in.
Wow, that is amazing. So now I can wear pink. Where did that come from? Wearing pink. Now I can wear pink. Where did that come from?
So it comes from a lot of different places, and I'll give you a few of those things. So a lot of people, when they hear it, they think it's about breast cancer. And breast cancer is a really important cause to me. My mother is a survivor. However, Now I Can Wear Pink is different. The name came to me because my ex abuser did not like it when I wore pink. And if you look into domestic violence, you'll find that one part of it is that an abusive partner may try to control what a person wears. And that was something he always did. And so when I got my freedom, I just really thought about something that really captured a bit of my experience. Now I can wear pink and I can wear it without anybody criticizing me or saying anything about it or otherwise creating problems because I'm choosing to wear pink on a given day, which I love. And so going further with this particular advocacy work I'm doing, it allows me to hide all of this wealth of information about domestic violence in plain sight. Because when most people see Now I Can Wear Pink, they just dismiss it as, oh, that's fashion or breast cancer. And so for a survivor who's trying to get information, she's able to access that information without worrying about her abuser knowing immediately what she's doing. And that's another part of my journey. I would try to read books and websites and get resources about how to help myself when I was in an abusive relationship. And I often had to hide things because if the abuser saw it, of course he'd get angry. So again, hiding domestic violence information in plain sight.
Wow. So you not only advocate, you understand them. Because, a lot of people, they have the heart and that's what they want to do. They want to be a part of stuff, but to actually go through it, you actually understand exactly what they're saying or what they're not saying to you when they are going through the abuse that they may be going through. So that's a plus in itself, to have a advocate that is advocating for you and that also understands what you are actually going through. When you are dealing with this, is it because this is your business, right?
Yeah.
So do you have them to journal or like give us should they purchase one of your journals or how does the advocacy work and how can they support um, you know the domestic violence so that you can help more women that are in these situations.
So I definitely do encourage women or anyone experiencing domestic violence to journal and write about their experience that they're going through. And currently, I don't have a journal that I publish, but I do have some journals where I have the Now I Can Wear Pink logo. And I'll often just give those to people. Occasionally, I'll sell some of them. And I'll actually, in the future, Now I Can Wear Pink will actually be the title of a book because I did a lot of writing when I was in that situation. And so I just remember a few days after I left, I made a list of reasons why I should never go back to the abusive relationship. And at the time, it started out being this list, and over time, it grew into all of these stories about things that I went through and experienced. And so I decided to turn it into a book that will be coming to bookstore near everybody at some point really soon.
That is awesome. So you're a professor. um, can you tell like if someone since you've been through it, can you tell like if someone may possibly be in need of assistance, and do you like kind of slip them some information undercover, as now I can wear pink, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's been very interesting how I've had people come to me and say that they've needed something. Like, I know I've had just random encounters with strangers out in public. And sometimes I'll see something or notice something because signs of domestic violence are very subtle. It can happen to people of any race, class, religion, socioeconomic status. And sometimes it's something just as simple as noticing someone who may look a little down, or I mean, they're the signs of it can be what we call those invisible signs, because a person can look absolutely fine on the outside, they can dress nice, they can have a nice profession, but they may be hurting on the inside. So I view everybody as a potential customer or person that might need it, because 1 in 3 women have experienced domestic violence. And so that means if you're sitting in a room with just 5 of your friends, or even just 3 of your friends, chances are one of them has experienced this or they know someone else who has. So I give information to anybody. And I think that's the way it has to be. I also participate on my local domestic violence coordinating council. And because I am a survivor on this board, oftentimes if we have a new survivor that comes to a meeting, they may give me their phone number and I'll send them an encouraging text or just be a listening ear. Like, a lot of people just want somebody to listen without judgment. Um, and I do a lot of just public speaking engagements. I've been to our local domestic violence shelter, the Refuge House. They did a luncheon series where they talked to different professionals in our community to help them to be able to serve domestic violence survivors. Um, and so I view everywhere and anywhere as a potential opportunity.
Well, that is inspirational for you to go through the pain. Because I always say your pain brings you to your purpose. So if you understand that, then it leads you right into your destiny. It leads you right into your purpose in life. We see things as, oh, why is this happening to me? But if we look at it in a different view, if we go beyond the cover, then we'll discover like, hey, okay, this is for me not to hide. There's enough of us hiding and denying what happened to us and moving on. There's people that are suffering in silence, and now they have someone that is a survivor of it, and they can, you survived it. Like it's not someone, oh yeah, I'm going through it too, or nothing like that. Is I survived this, and I can show you how, or I understand you because we can people can get into the profession and give advice and say, well, you should just leave and you should just, but if you have never been in that situation, you don't understand if why they, because I mean, you have to think about it. Why haven't they left?
Mhm.
Is there a reason that they can't leave? I'm sure that they want to leave, but, what is stopping them? So, what encouragement could you give someone um, that may be going through um, something, whether it's domestic violence or, because you started a business after the domestic violence.
Yes.
So, give them encouragement on like how they can prosper through, survive, and then, you know, use it to start their own business or whatever God has them to do. Don't let that stop them. So what advice could you give someone that, is trying to survive, or if they have survived and they still feel low, how could they push the way you do?
I would start by telling people that sometimes you can find purpose in the midst of pain, but it doesn't happen immediately. Usually, you're going to need some time to heal and actually step back from what you've been through and take that moment to heal and process and learn. And so, with that being said, just remembering that it probably won't feel good when you leave an abusive relationship or a hard situation, no matter what it may be. You're not going to feel good about it every day. It may not feel good at first, but I think you have to remember it's not about your feelings, because some things that are good for us, they don't feel good. Like, I don't know how viewers may feel about immunizations, but I would say a vast majority of people experience immunizations, or you've taken medication, or you've had something that created pain, in childhood or adulthood, but ultimately it was good for you. And so I think leaving something really hard can be the same way. And so being able to take one step at a time, one day at a time, because I can remember my initial days of leaving kind of felt like a zombie. But I remember praying every day and just kind of hearing this still, quiet voice in my spirit reminded me, just one day at a time. You only have to get through today. And so, what you find is as you keep getting up every day, going through each day, time is passing. What's important is what you're doing as that time is passing. Are you taking the time to process? Are you taking the time to heal? Are you taking the time to detox? That's what I say. When you've been through something toxic, it's like being poisoned every day. So take that time, take it slow, be willing to give it what you need to. Because for some people, I can speak for myself, I was in a situation for nearly 2 decades. So you can't walk away from something like that and just expect that you're just going to be marching off the next day, right? It's like if you break your leg, you got to go through healing, might need a cast, you may have to go through rehab to learn to walk again. So it's kind of the same way. So that's what I would encourage people, is to remember that it may not feel good. Sometimes doing what's best for you doesn't. But with time, it does get better if you take it one step at a time. Um, and I'll also say, just learning to lean on whatever your higher power is. For me, it's God and prayer, and I stand firmly in that as a part of that healing process.
Yes, ma'am. That's the best way to be. Is in the arms of the Almighty. He knows the plans that He has for you. And just know that all things, it's not just a saying that is in the Bible, all things work together for your good. So if you don't get it misunderstood, you will understand that, okay, this is still going to work out for my good. Even though this is not looking right. That's why I said, lean not into your own understanding, but you have to
Mhm.
acknowledge Him in all of your ways. He can beat the enemy. We can't beat the enemy, but he can defeat the enemy,
Yes.
and give you the win so that you can begin and get out of that sin that you're in. So that's amazing. I noticed that you said that you are a mother first. So how do you juggle being a mother, a professor, um, and a business owner, advocate, speaker? Am I missing anything? All the things that God has you to do. How do you keep the balance, and how do you push forward with juggling being a mother, a professor, advocate, and everything that you do? Oh, and wife.
So I think what I've discovered is managing time well. I get up early. I usually am up way before my kids. So first of all, I can do whatever self-care routines or prayer I need to do in the morning, and of course drink some coffee so I can be ready for my day. That's really important. I think sometimes people feel like self-care is just when we go to get our nails done or our hair done or that, but there's some internal practices that are also self-care. So being able to take that time to reflect. I still journal even now, even though I'm in a healthy relationship and everything is good. I still journal, still process, still pray. Um, and then also just managing my time, planning things out. I had to overcome my procrastination habit to be able to make all of these things possible. Like what now I can wear pink. I do the blog and I do a few things on social media. So I plan those out ahead of time to make sure I've done them. And with my job, just making sure that everything has an appropriate place. Like I have set hours where I'm doing work, and the work is done during those hours. Now I can wear pink is usually I do a lot of it on Sunday evenings. And then during the week, I spend a few moments that I've scheduled in. And in mothering, it is an ongoing task. It's an everyday thing. But even with that, there's some planning you can do. You know, when you have to drop your kids off to school and pick them up. And, as mothers, we keep a calendar of what's important and what our priorities are. And I think that's the other thing, too, prioritizing, because not everything that crosses your path is important. And so just remembering what really matters, prioritizing those things. And then when if you have additional time, then you can add in some other things that may be a lesser priority.
I totally agree with balancing the time and managing it with priority. Prioritizing, thank you, Lord. Your time is very important because as a mother, like you said, it's nonstop.
Hmm.
So you have to be able to prioritize your time for the things that needs to be done right now and things that can wait. So I totally agree with you on that. How can they get in contact with you? Is it whether it be it social media, or how can they get in contact with you if they are needing help or advocacy for domestic violence?
So they can go to the website nowicanwearpink.com. And there's also, I have an email address, Indy, INDY, at nowicanwearpink.com. And then, of course, social media platforms that many use, Instagram, Now I Can Wear Pink, and also Facebook, Now I Can Wear Pink. Pretty simple. Now I can wear pink everywhere.
All right. Well, thank you again, Miss Iris, for the encouragement to let them know who you are beyond the cover so that they can discover and know, like, I have someone that has my back that has been through this. So it's not just someone I'm venting to, it's someone that
Mhm.
also understands me and what I'm actually going through. Like you said, that's not going to judge me, um, in this situation because they've already been through it.
Mhm.
So I thank you again, and that is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed Beyond the Cover and Miss Iris.
Thank you.